Welcome to the Whiskachicks Podcast, where Amy and Suzie are two sisters that banter about random, relatable topics. What is a Whiskachick? Well, it's a term our beloved Nana used for anything random, so instead of saying thingamajig or doodad, she would say Whiskachick. We are here to have fun, a lot of laughs, and to spread joy and mindfulness. Give a listen. You may learn something or have an aha moment or two. We dedicate this creative endeavor to our Nana, whose most powerful saying was, be true to yourself. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Whiskachicks Podcast. I'm Suzie.
And I'm Amy.
And we're back again for yet another riveting podcast episode of another hand-selected Whiskachick between the two of us. But before we get into that, I wanted to celebrate some more growth with the podcast. It seems to be, I don't know, I text you daily being like, oh my God.
I know, we're just, it's crazy. We're so excited.
Yeah, so we are now being listened to in 33 countries and 188 cities. And I want to welcome our latest country barrage of just this is in the last 6 or 7 days. And there's 8 of them. So we'd like to welcome Vietnam, Morocco, Ethiopia, Guatemala, Bangladesh, Bolivia, and Egypt. Wild. Freaking wild.
It's so exciting to know that there's so many parts of the globe that we're reaching. I mean, it's just like, it's awesome.
I know. It's just, I'm still wondering how the hell people find us, but I'm not complaining. I'm not
complaining, but yeah, no, seriously, because
they might Google. They might Google whiskey, and then they're like, "Oh, what's a Whiskachick?" And then
but we're so bad at marketing ourselves, so that's why this global presence is just astounding. So
it's true. I can honestly say we are 100% organic because we are not doing much of anything to push us out of the world. This is all just unfolding, and it's funny. My naturopath that I've been seeing for years, whenever I get like impatient about something not going at the pace I would like it to, he's just like,
you're such an Aries. No, I'm kidding.
He's also, that's the last episode, but he's like, hey, you never know what it's like to grow bamboo? And I'm like, how the hell would I know what that's like to grow bamboo? And he's like, when you grow bamboo, like you have the soil and you have to nurture it and take care of it. And he goes, then you plant the bamboo and then like nothing happens. It's just quiet, but you still water it and tend to it and talk to it. And blah. And then he goes, one day you just see a little shoot come out. And then all of a sudden it just goes, Pah! And it freaks out. Which, and again, is uncontrollable, which bamboo is. So I like to think that is a good analogy for my Aries brain. And that's what I feel like we're kind of doing. I don't even feel like the sprouts come up. I think the seeds are just like getting ready to go boop, and then it's going to
explode. Anyway. Yeah. But anyway, as always, we're super grateful for giving us a listen and giving us a little time. Shoot. It's awesome.
I know not all the episodes are like winners in that sense. It's the stuff that we think is fun to talk about. But let me tell you, kids, today's going to be God. So Amy and I were on the phone the other night and we're like, what should we talk about when we record? We're like going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, let's talk about public bathroom etiquette / mindfulness. And I realize you and I spend more time in a ladies' room than a men's room, but I'm sure some of this will apply. And we've done other episodes on like grocery store mindfulness and driving etiquette. And we're all about this sort of thing because we're out in the world with all of you. But I promise you, there is not one thing that we're about to say today that no one will relate to. That's impossible. Impossible. So anyway,
so and here at the Whiskachicks, yes, we're spiritual and everything, but we also have potty minds. I mean, it's like, it's just natural.
Growing
pee-pee.
Yeah, poo-poo pee-pee. Growing up at every holiday dinner, it never ended before poo-poo pee-pee was talked about. Like that was like pre-dessert, basically. And so
go ahead.
No, you go.
No, no. So I was just going to say, just a shout out to all my dietitian friends out there, and you know who you are. Every single day at the lunch table at the hospital, what would come up? Pee pee poo 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 pee pee. I mean, we were always talking about the poop scoop. So it's just all dietitians out there. If you know, you know. And I know my little core group is, if they're listening to this, they're going to get a chuckle. So
yeah,
anyway.
But we're going to talk about the elimination station, the bathrooms.
The elimination station.
And you know, it's everywhere. It's you know, at a movie theater or a sporting event or Disneyland or anywhere you go, even a grocery store, anywhere you go into a public bathroom. And let's face it, when you go into a bathroom, you're not going in there to check it out. Like, you're probably like, oh, gotta go, right, meow. And so you don't really have time to mess around with when you open the door to the stall and be like, God dang it. Because you're, you know, I mean, Amy and I are both in our 50s and things, let's just face it, aren't as tight as they used to be. So it's like, for me, it's like when I have to go to the bathroom, I have a very small window of time before it's like 911. And so if I don't go during the sweet spot, like, you know, I do like this kind of dance yoga thing so I don't piss myself before
dance.
I drop trow and turn around and boop on the pee-pee pants. But, you know, I do grocery shopping for people for a living, and so I go into public bathrooms daily, sometimes twice in a trip, depending on how long it is. But I was thinking about this the other day. I get timed for what I do, and so I was like, no, I have time to pee. I totally have time to pee. And I went in the bathroom. You know, when I went in the bathroom, the first thing that hit me was the woman that was in there did something not of this world. So step one, the courtesy flush. Okay? If you're going to have a code brown and
a number 2
and blow the place up, I mean, why would you want to sit over that anyway? The least you can do, even if it's an automatic flusher, you can stick your hand back there and get that thing to suck it down before we all die.
So I was at Disneyland. When was it? Maybe a week ago.
Yesterday?
No,
kidding.
like a week ago. And I was in, let's see, which bathroom was I in? I think I was in the bathroom was it by Pirates? Some of the bathrooms just kind of naturally, they're older, right? And they just naturally always stink anyway. But oh my God, somebody did something that was, like you just said, not of this world. It was lethal. I was just like, my God. I mean, the smell, the sewer, dead, decomposing. I can't even begin to describe it. I don't think I've smelled anything like this since my hospital days. And I was just like, God, get me out of here. I mean, it's like 2, 4, 6, 8, everyone evacuate. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Maybe she ate the Monte Cristo sandwich at Tiana's Bayou.
Maybe she had a turkey leg.
Maybe. Oh, then she had a turkey leg. So, yeah, courtesy flush, and that goes for like your own house. You know, I mean, why would you do that to your household too? I mean, but I just,
that's what poopery is for.
So it smells like herbal poo. Yeah, courtesy flushing it's just something really that you can give back to the world, because these public bathrooms normally don't have windows, and when you go somewhere that has more than like 3 or 4 stalls, that ups the chances of someone pooping. Right. So just courtesy flush, even if you get a little splashback.
Bombs away.
Consider it a mini bidet.
A mini bidet. But when you're in a place, let's just take Disneyland for example, where people are there from dawn to midnight, they're having breakfast and lunch and dinner and, having their coffees and all that. So literally, the propensity for the big poopy is like happening all day, especially depending on what you're eating. Cause who knows? I mean, I don't eat a lot of the stuff at Disneyland, but people there in the morning having them eggs and sulfur containing foods, and then they're having the turkey legs and the hamburgers and the corn dogs, and it makes for it just makes for some disastrous bathroom experiences. So yes, courtesy flush, please. Please.
And also, let's not forget that specifically at Disneyland, there is someone's job that their sole job is to keep the bathrooms clean.
Yes, and I always thank
them.
They
live in there. They live in there, but
yep.
But I think the only place, maybe places, I should say, when a courtesy flush might not be possible is like an airplane or a train or a bus,
right?
Where it's like more life-threatening if you try to attempt that. Because in an airplane, like whenever I fly, I just pray that I'm not going to have to take a crap.
No,
because there's pressure to get it done and get out, but there's no room to do anything except sit and shit.
And then the pressure you're under too, because what if there's a little turbulence and the seatbelt sign comes on? Return to your seats. I'm like, but I can't. I'm right in the middle of something.
You all just should have put a seatbelt strap on the turdlet there on the toilet. I'll write it out in here. It's probably safer. But but anywhere you use a public restroom, whether you're doing your business in the toilet or you're washing your hands, it's like, just keep in mind, like, we're all out there using the same facility, and you are not, okay, you are special, but you are not excused from setting up your neighbor or your friend or whoever is behind you or next to you or whatever. Ladies, we've all been there when, we finally turn around, sit down on the toilet, dun, 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 there's no paper.
Oh my God.
There's no paper. And then you pray
worst.
Someone next to you is someone because his hand comes underneath. You're like, hey, can I have some paper?
Hopefully there's a paper fairy nearby. You can
and then if there's no one to hook you up, it's like your next option is to turn around and look for what I call an ass gasket.
I knew that was
wipe
coming.
Yourself, and that's
the ass gasket.
That's like wiping yourself with parchment paper. It's awful.
I was gonna say sandpaper, but it is just like parchment.
No, it's
oh my God.
It's like parchment paper.
Better than nothing, but yeah. But I think one of the most everybody, we all have done our share of stinking up the restroom and whatever. Okay. But I think that the one thing that pet peeve that I have is when after you use the toilet, if you choose to squat or stand up and not sit down, or I see footprints on the toilet seat from time to time. Like people are standing on the toilet seat, squatting over the toilet. And we all know what happens, right? Pee goes everywhere. So I don't know how many times I walked into a stall and the seat is just saturated with pee. I'm like, really? So no matter what your habits are, turn around, look at your mess, clean it up as a courtesy to the next person who's coming in, because it's just, it's not nice. And as a courtesy to the poor folks who clean the toilets too, because someone's got to clean that up. And it really should be you, because it's your pee-pee. It's your pee-pee. It's your footprints and it's your pee-pee.
You go into the stall and you're like, is it raining in here? Because there's pee all over the seat.
It's raining yellow. Yay.
I've actually had it where I was going into a stall as a woman was coming out, and she clearly just like stood on that seat and did a freaking hula dance while she was shiz whizzling all over it. And I just like wanted to turn around and be like, will you come back here and like clean this up? Like, you know, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, karma's a bitch, lady. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. You're not special. You can't just pee all over a seat and leave it for the person behind you. It's bad for your soul.
And you know, with the ass gasket, if you use one, and most people do, some people don't make sure that it goes down the flusher when it flushes. I mean, put it in the toilet. You know, you walk in and sometimes it's just half hanging on, half in the toilet, half on the seat, and it's like wet. And then because you know, the water travels up the tissue, right? If half of it's hanging in the toilet, the water travels up the tissue, and then it's kind of like glued to the toilet seat. And you're like, damn, I can't use this toilet either. And if you're in a public restroom where the line of and men, you know, chances are you don't experience this as much as women do, but usually there's a line, especially if you're in a crowded place, and it's like every stall matters. Every stall matters, you know? So it's like clean up behind you so the next person can use that stall, because I don't know how many times I'm like, I can't go in there. Sorry. And I turn around and I look at the next woman in line and I'm like, it's not usable. You know, it's gross, you know? So what?
The only That's time funny. That I've ever like fled a situation in the bathroom is when I haven't done anything like crazy. I would own up to that, but it must have been the person or two before me that did. But like, I'll flush the toilet and like it starts all coming up.
Oh,
like
danger!
Like it's gonna overflow.
Danger.
I just run. Run.
Everybody save your tennis shoes. Run.
You don't want to be in there for that. You see them coming in with this big machine to hose it all up. I mean, I've worked in retail long enough to know that situation. But, you know, if anybody's ever traveled, especially to places in Europe, bathrooms are not readily available to the public without paying for it. Like, you have to pay. I was just visiting our family in the Netherlands and Germany recently. And in Germany, I didn't really encounter this problem because I was, you know, staying at home with my friend, and, you know who you are. And, but in Amsterdam, I was paying about €1.10. So that's probably like almost $1.50 to use the toilet. But let me tell you, it's a nice experience. I mean, the bathrooms, someone is tending to the bathrooms. Like, you know, you're not just having, I mean, people that really want to go to the bathroom will pay for the bathroom. And it just fascinates me that you can just like boop your freaking phone or a credit card and then the arm goes up, you know, like and then there's
an app. It's a bathroom app.
Yeah, there's a crap app.
Crap app. Oh my God.
I'm sure there is one. I don't even know. I don't know. There has to be one. But and I know like 5 or 6 places in different parts of Amsterdam where I'm like, ooh, I have to pee and I know there's a nice bathroom. I'll pay. Shit. Damn it. I will pay for a nice bathroom if it means me not stressing out, because then you're left with, you can't just walk into an establishment. Even if you go to McDonald's, you have to pay for the bathroom.
Yeah. And
we, in the United States, we take so much advantage of the fact that you can just walk in somewhere and go to the bathroom. Right. And if you're living more in like a city environment nowadays, because of homelessness, sadly, most bathrooms now you have to at least ask for a code, and then, you know, then they ask you like, are you a patron or whatnot, or even some grocery stores. No. Yeah, exactly. Even some grocery stores, you have to take a picture, scan a QR code, and then turn your phone around to boop it to open the door. So they're assuming that if someone doesn't have a phone, they can't get in. it's all gotten like so weird, but this is all largely based on the fact that people abuse restrooms.
Yeah. And to that point, and I think the Starbucks restrooms are notorious for this. And it's because there's a Starbucks on every corner, but I don't know how many times it's just like a one or two. It's usually no more than two restrooms at a Starbucks. Sometimes you'll see more, but they're usually individual rooms. Sometimes there's a code, sometimes there's not, but people like come and get ready there. They like they're in the stall like brushing their teeth and washing their face, and in their stall in the bathroom and with the door locked. They're using the toilet, they're washing their hair in the sink, and like they're and I feel badly if they don't have any other place to do that. But these are public restrooms where people are out in the coffee shop having some caffeine, drinking the warm beverage, and they're going to need a restroom, So, but I've seen many folks who don't look like they need to be getting ready in a public restroom, like at a Starbucks, do that. And they're in there for like a half an hour. And, it's like, are you okay in there? Are you okay? And sometimes I've even had Starbucks employees come out and like knock on the door and say, check to see if they're alive. Do we need to call 911? But, for those of you who can get ready at home, please do that. The Starbucks restrooms are not for, your morning routine. It's to shit or get off the pot.
Didn't Nana say that?
Shit or get off the pot?
Isn't that something else that Nana said?
A lot of people say it.
Oh, I was just talking about our family specifically.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's true. And also, like, I really feel like, it's not okay to have to pay to use a bathroom because people are going to be out. Stuff's going to happen. Some people have, physical conditions and liabilities where they need to frequent bathrooms more. And I know I'm kind of getting off subject here, but, and that makes people wary about going out in public. But I just feel like as a human being, you have a responsibility to be mindful of, and this goes for anything that you do out in the world. Be mindful about the person in front of you, the person next to you, the person behind you, whatever person is in your space. And here's the human experiment. If you're in a bathroom, everybody's more or less there for the same reason. And it's like nobody wants to walk into a stall and see a disaster that you left behind that you could have been like not left that behind. I don't know how else to say that. It's just like, it's life right now. We should really be focusing on humanity and setting up the team. We're all on team human race here. And I just feel like in those moments where you can be kind in any way, whether it be a friendly hello or holding a door open for someone or wiping
flushing your ass gasket.
Yeah, wiping your piss off the toilet seat. Then do it. Because would you want to be the recipient of that?
Right.
My answer would be no.
Exactly. And we did an episode on, we here at Whiskachicks, we love mindfulness, and we try to pick some topics where mindfulness is just hardcore real life, like grocery cart, returning the grocery cart. That was very early on. And, the public restroom thing is along the same vein. We laugh, it's pee pee, poo poo, poo poo, pee pee, and all that, but it really is along the same vein. And now we're talking about sanitation as well, so, and like Suzie said, we're all there to do the same thing. We're all either urinating or defecating. And, we want to, why leave why leave your germs and your poo poo pee pee and all that for other people to have to deal with, touch, whatever, so it's like, be mindful. I mean, you did your business. Now prepare it for the next person. Don't just walk away and leave it for either the restroom attendant to deal with or for the person who's waiting for the stall to deal with. Because it's sanitation, so think about that.
It's sanitation and consideration. You know what else I was just thinking? Like, would you do that at home? Would you just piss all over your seat at home and like go about your day? Go make some toast after you just piss all over your bathroom seat? Like, would you do that at home? Then why would you do it in public, you moron? Like, don't do it. God.
Daddy, mommy peed all over the toilet.
Yeah. I mean, they used to laugh at me at work because I would go in the bathroom behind it. We had unisex bathrooms at my old work, and like, someone would come out, a guy would come out, and the bathroom was right outside like the manager's office, and they knew every time I would go in the bathroom and they heard like this bam, they knew it was me kicking the seat down with my foot because I didn't want to touch it with my hand. And they're like, you're going to break the toilet. And I'm like, well, Mister should put the seat down. And then he turns around. He's like, why don't you put the seat up so I can pee?
Oh, gosh.
I'm like, oh, are we going to get into this now? Are we going to do this right now? So
I guess it just,
people don't want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, people don't want to touch things, right? They don't want to put the seat down. They don't want to. They don't want to put their butt on. Let me tell you something. If you use an ass gasket, which if you haven't figured that out now, are those little waxy toilet seat covers, but it's, the gasket between you and the toilet, hence the ass gasket. There's the explanation of that.
Thanks.
But,
Thanks for clarifying.
Thanks. I don't know anyone that has picked up a communicable disease, if that's the word, from sitting on a toilet that did not have an ass gasket on it.
Well,
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But
granted, the skin is the largest organ in the body, and it's also the most immune. It's like it's an incredible barrier to disease. As long as you don't have open wounds and things like that, if your skin is healthy and closed and you don't have any scratches or you're not bleeding or anything like that, it really is a significant barrier. So to sit on a toilet, even without an ass gasket, it would be difficult to catch something just through the back of your thighs, but by the same token, we're still talking about sanitation, and we don't want to share excrement with strangers or even with family members for that matter. I mean, it's all, so, but yeah, just clean up after yourselves, please.
I know, just, it's about consideration, and it, we're already struggling as a society. I'll just say, I mean, humans in general, but especially right now in the United States, this is a time, and I don't mean this to be funny or corny, but it's little things right now with everything going on that can really not escalate what's going. Everybody is having such an individual experience with what is going on in the world, let alone the United States right now, where it's like, I feel like people are like, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. So if, you're
right
at that point and you go in and you see that someone's doused the toilet in piss when all you wanted to do was relieve yourself, that could be the pee that breaks the back. And you just go click and snap. And there you go. I mean, I just really feel like little things add up to huge things. And I mean, even just this morning, I went out to do a job, and I just know it was so weird. I was like, why is everybody being so nice to me? Everybody's like, hey, good morning. How are you? And I realized it was just because I was just engaging and walking around and like pleasant, because I really feel like we need that right now. And I was just doing my part, but we all can help in any way. And if you can clean up your own waste before someone else has to deal with it, just don't do that. It's not right. I don't support you, and I don't want to be your friend if that's someone that you are.
But I think that last point you made is a great way to kind of, wrap this up.
Put everybody out of their misery.
Yep. But no, seriously, I mean, the world is in such a state right now where, like you said, people, it's stressful. And the nicer we can be to each other, even if it's just a thank you. Like I was at Costco this morning, and a guy was bringing in some carts. He was maybe 3 or 4 carts deep. And, and I stopped and I said, can I grab one of those from you? To just lighten his load a little bit. Right. And he's like, yeah. And he pushed one out to me. I said, thank you so much. He's like, thank you. You're very welcome, and it's like his face lit up just because I did that little thing. And I was having some difficulty at the self-checkout, and, an attendant came over and right away started helping me scan some things. And I said, thank you so much. And she's like, oh, you're welcome. Like, she was surprised that I thanked her. So just, little things just to show that we acknowledge each other. And it's just so important right now. I think I feel like we're living in a pressure cooker, and every single time we show some gratitude to each other, every single time we clean up after each other in the toilet, in a public restroom, every single time we do little things like that, we kind of take a little bit of pressure off that pressure cooker, And I know Susie and I were laughing and we're joking, we're talking pee pee poo poo and all that kind of stuff, but it really, these things make a difference. It really does. So, if you take away anything from this episode, just random act of kindness, and that includes being kind enough to clean up after yourself after you've used a toilet in a public restroom.
I mean, and right now everybody's looking for like a pinhole of light, and it's a choice. You can choose to be a light in whatever you do.
Yeah.
And I just really, that's actually one of the things that I am pulling away from what is going on right now, is that I really do feel like people are being naturally now jockeyed into being more mindful and kind, because they're like, man, we're all just kind of in it,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if that's one positive thing I can pull out of what's going on right now, I'll just say that. But anyway, in terms of like bathroom people, come on, just do the right thing. Poo the right thing.
poo the right thing.
Pee pee poo 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 pee pee poo poo. Sorry. Are you going to give homework? You didn't last time.
Well,
you don't feel like giving homework anymore?
Okay, no. The homework is next time you use a public restroom, turn around and look at the toilet before you walk out of the stall. Is there anything that you can do to make it nicer for the next person coming in? Is there a dribble? Is there some trash? Is there, whatever? Did you leave anything behind that you're not supposed to leave behind? And just make it acceptable for the next person coming in. I'm not asking you to, get out your tidy bowl man equipment and clean it or anything, but just what?
You don't have to put a chocolate on the toilet seat.
Although that's a great idea.
You don't have to write for a good time call on the wall or anything with your Sharpie that you're probably carrying.
At Disneyland, that's actually called fairy dusting. People will leave like little things around the park and take a picture and say, "Hey, left some fairy dust." So, I mean, leave a little fairy dust.
That doesn't mean leaving pee on the toilet seat.
No, it does not. It does not. But it kind of relates back to that chocolate, maybe
you could
a little fairy dust. Leave a mint.
Leave a little mint or a chalky. not a homemade chocolate, if you know what I mean. Don't leave that on the seat.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right. Let's end this before we keep going. So anyway, as always, we are so happy and grateful you guys are with us. Keep listening. We love it. It inspires us. Just want to give I'm going to drop one small little piece of information, and that coming soon, we've been collaborating on having some swag for the podcast available to buy. It's sort of live right now. I'm not going to give too much information, but it's on Etsy. And but when I'm ready to really push it out to the world, we'll let you know. So if you ever wanted swag for the podcast, stay tuned because it will be coming. So until next time, we know what old Nana would say.
And it's not pee pee poo poo. It's be true to yourself.